illegals negatively affect public schools? Well, first of all, we don't have enough staff to accommodate those who need extra help for learning the fundamentals of English. So in a September 2016 article from the Federation for American Immigration Reform, the FAIR, they stated to educate 4.9 million LEP, which is limited English proficiency students nationwide, there are 346,766 LEP certified or trained teachers as of 2013. And at the end of the 2011 school year, for example, there were 1,817,842 teachers, which is about 58% of the total of all teachers. They taught at least one LEP student, even though 1,471,066 teachers, they lack the certification or the training to teach this population. So it's just showing how even though teachers don't have the certification or credibility to be teaching these students, they still are forced to teach these students. And also from that same study, they calculated that the cost nationwide totaled $51.2 billion, compared with $59.8 billion in 2016. And the underlying tragedy behind this mad dash to accommodate illegal aliens, refugees, and legal immigrants is that despite all the money spent, there is little to show for it. LEP students consistently demonstrate dismal progress in all subject areas, and the fallout is affecting other students. So it just shows how, despite all of our efforts, it's not really improving anything. And just to further this fact, there's going to be overcrowding given time. So from an article by Christopher J. Daly in February 2017, he stated that about 14% of schools exceed their capacity by 6 to 25%, and 8% proceeded by more than 25%. So to alleviate this overcrowding, more than 1/3 of the schools, you have to use portable classrooms. So it's just showing how there's this overcrowding of students, and there's this influx of students is just causing everybody to not have enough room and having to go somewhere else. So my opponents also claim that there is no fiscal burden. However, I found that also from the Federation for American Immigration Reform that the cost is a burden on taxpayers because the total government expenditures on illegals are $135 billion, and the tax contribution of the illegal immigrants is only $19 billion. So this fiscal burden is $116 billion. And most of these, unlike what they said that they don't receive medical benefits. However, I found that most of the burdens are from medical expenses, which is $17.85 billion. And from the May Institute for Healthcare Policy and Innovation, even if the undocumented immigrants, if they don't have health insurance, federal law requires to care for them in emergencies, so they can turn to safety net clinics for basic needs. So this just shows that yes, we do take care of them, and we do spend a lot more money on them than we should, because we should be caring about our own citizens first. They also say that it's a one-time cost. that the wall is not a one-time cost, but neither are illegals. If we're constantly spending this 116 billion every year, that's outweighing the, what was it, 70 billion of the one time. And then, yes, I agree that there are going to be repairs that are going to be done, but it's not going to be as much as the burden that's currently in place. And also they touched on how we can't build on the Rio Grande, which we're not saying that we're going to build on the river directly. If we have the wall in place around the river, there's going to not be a need to build on the river, because if it's already going to be difficult to build a wall on the river, there's not going to be a need. It's going to be difficult for illegals to go through that river, and if we're going to be having security on all sides of the walls, then it'll be an unnecessary need. Thank you.